I think this is only going to make Victor Wembanyama stronger, a better basketball player, and I sense that the Victor Wembanyama villain arc is about to happen. We're talking NBA Finals. New York Knicks are the NBA champions. Champions of the world. Don't let that track star Lyles know about what I just said. But anyways, the New York Knicks beat the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games. And here's what I think about it. All right, but before we get into all that, please like the video, comment on the video, let me know what you think. Facebook channel. I'm getting a lot of love on Facebook. I appreciate everyone joining my lives, all that kind of stuff. And they're also saying people come back and search up my YouTube channel. Why are we making this hard on ourselves? Anyways, I said whoever wins out of the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals is going to win an NBA championship. That's what I stood by. I've probably stood by that since December. I also said coming out of the East, I thought the Celtics were the best team in the East. You know, Jason Tatum getting hurt again, all that kind of stuff definitely play a role. But throughout the playoffs, you know, I was riding with the New York Knicks. I've picked the New York Knicks in every playoff series since, you know, my first video on the NBA playoffs. But even throughout the playoffs, I said, you know, Thunder or Spurs. Whoever wins that's going to win the NBA Finals. But in my last video, I had a change of heart. And I hate to say it, I did it again. I'm hitting at like a 90% clip in these NBA playoffs. I said Knicks in 6. Even though I said Spurs or Thunder all year long, I changed my mind last second, change of heart. I said Knicks in 6. And you know why I said Knicks in 6? There's something about this New York Knicks team that is just getting it done. I feel like this might be a hot take for some. The run Jalen Brunson just went on, Dirk Nowitzki-esque. It reminded me of Dirk's run in, 2011? Dirk's run in 2011 when he took down Kobe, took down LeBron, took down, I believe, the Thunder. Just slaying all these legends, all these all-stars, all the teams that should win. Jalen Brunson went on one of the most historical playoff runs in the New York Knicks that we've seen in a long time. And so I said Knicks in 6, but I do need to apologize. I said Knicks in 6, the Knicks won in 5. So I apologize for not being fully on the dot with that, but again, this playoffs was easy money for me. I didn't put any money on it. I should, but I was rolling. I was rolling. But let's break this down now. So New York Knicks win in 5 games. What happened with the San Antonio Spurs? What is the story for the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs? Well, I'll tell you the story right now. New York won 4 games after trailing by double digits, including the 29-point comeback in Game 4. Like I said in my last video, Brunson was the closer. When the game is on the line, Brunson might not be the best player in the series, but now I'm rethinking that. But what did I say in my last video? I trust Jalen Brunson more in the clutch than Victor Wembanyama, than De'Aaron Fox, than anybody on the Spurs. I trust Jalen Brunson more than anybody else to win a game in the clutch. Brunson was the closer, and the Knicks' resilience was the story of the finals. All 4 of their wins, and they won in 5, came in games they trailed by double digits. So what does that say about the Knicks? Resilient, hard-nosed. Everything New York resembles is what the Knicks resemble. I really like, someone on First Take said that today. I can get behind that. But what does this say about the San Antonio Spurs? I think what this says about the San Antonio Spurs is they're young. Wemby's in his 3rd year. Stephon Castle in his 2nd year. And Dylan Harper in his 1st year. Keldon Johnson, first time ever in the playoffs. Devin Vassell, first time ever in the playoffs. I mean, you have Harrison Barnes and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has only been in the playoffs a couple times in his almost 10-year NBA career. Harrison Barnes obviously has an NBA Finals ring. But overall, the San Antonio Spurs, first time for 95% of their roster in the playoffs. So I think when they got into a series like this, obviously a more experienced team in the New York Knicks. And I know Brunson and all those guys, none of these guys have been to an NBA Finals outside of OG, and he didn't even play in that Finals. But they've been in playoff series. They've been in contending series or been on contending teams for multiple years, right? They've been in the spotlight, right? They've been here before. They've been to the playoffs at least before. And I wonder if that 7-game series really took it out of the San Antonio Spurs. Was it 7 or 6? Anyways, doesn't matter. I just saw an inexperienced San Antonio team. And I think that tells you everything you need to know. 4 games. The Knicks win in 4 games after trailing by double digits. Win in 5 games, winning 4 after trailing by double digits. What that tells me is the San Antonio Spurs were not ready necessarily for the moment. They didn't know how to close games out. If we look at that Game 4, they're up like 29 points, 27 points in the first half. Then the New York Knicks and Jalen Brunson slowly chip away. Then we get that iconic iconic OG Anunoby tip in with 1 second left after the De'Aaron Fox missed layup to go up by 3. Oh my goodness. But I just think the San Antonio Spurs, immaturity, is that the right word? Or the lack of experience, or whatever it is, whatever word it is, they couldn't close games out. They didn't know what to do with themselves in those moments. And I think that was the biggest difference. You had a team that no matter what happened, they were going to work and chip away. They were going to stay connected, stay together. They knew to get it to Jalen Brunson. They knew how to navigate the moment, I should say. The Spurs, it just seemed like they didn't know how. Dylan Harper, what a great NBA Finals, right? The rookie really stepping up. You could see that the Spurs have a really tough decision to make, especially when it comes with De'Aaron Fox. They're going to have to pay Harper. They're going to have to pay Castle. They're going to have to pay Wemby, all on their rookie deals right now. De'Aaron Fox is going to be making like 63 mil in the next like 2-3 years. 2 years, I think. I got to cut some slack for De'Aaron Fox for that Game 4 mishap. If he hits that layup, no one's questioning that. No one's going to be questioning his decision-making in that moment if he makes that layup. Do I blame him? Personally, I can't necessarily blame him. It's easy for people from afar to be like, oh, what an idiot, shouldn't have made that choice, but he's the fastest kid in the league. Arguably, OG got him on the wrist. I think the New York Knicks were also just destined to win this ring. There was moments of each game where you're like, oh, here go the Spurs. They're going to blow them out. You know, when the Spurs tied it up 2-2 and they were up 29 in Game 4, I thought, wow, maybe the Spurs can flip this because now they're going back to San Antonio for Game 5 and they could potentially go up 3-2. But then they blow Game 4 and then they blow Game 5. You know, it was a fun series. All the games were tight. All the games were interesting and fun. You know, Game 1, 105-95, you know, and that's a game the Spurs blew a lead. Game 2, Knicks 105, the Spurs 104. Again, another game the Spurs blow a lead. Knicks up 2-0. Game 3, Spurs 115-111. Spurs close one out in Madison Square Garden. Okay, Game 4, Knicks 107, the Spurs 106, the 29-point blown lead. And then Game 5, Knicks 94, Spurs 90, blown lead again. And so what this means for the San Antonio Spurs, I think at the end of the day, this makes the San Antonio Spurs better. It makes Victor Wembanyama better. It makes De'Aaron Fox better. It makes Stephon Castle better. It makes Dylan Harper better. It's scary for a guy like Victor Wembanyama, a 23-year-old like Victor Wembanyama, who's already had all this success early in his career. And just knowing how his mind is wired, for me, it's scary for the league going forward. I think this is only going to make Victor Wembanyama stronger, a better basketball player, and I sense that the Victor Wembanyama villain arc is about to happen. It's starting. He had a couple flagrants, you know. He's not the innocent, you know, 7'5" kid from France, right? He's a competitor. And so I can only imagine a loss like this is only going to amplify his work and his work ethic. It's only going to amplify how he pushes his teammates. And I think this only makes his teammates better as well. De'Aaron Fox, I give him a break, man. People forget he was playing on essentially a broken ankle. New York Knicks, dude, I'm happy for Mikal Bridges. I'm happy for OG, and I'm happy for Josh Hart. If you remember my last video, the video of my prediction for the NBA Finals, I said those are the 3 players that I'm looking for to have the greatest impact, and they did, especially OG Anunoby. He was a shoe-in for Finals MVP. If Brunson didn't have 50 in Game 5, I think, depending on how OG played, he could have got Finals MVP. But, you know, shout out to the New York Knicks. I mean, I think they were destined for this ring, and I think Jalen Brunson had a run that it was Dirk-esque. I think it was one of the greatest NBA Finals runs that I've witnessed in my lifetime, or just NBA playoff runs in general. I think the Knicks, I can't guarantee they're going to be back in this position, especially with this core and this group, but I think this isn't the last we've heard from this San Antonio Spurs team. And Victor Wembanyama's villain arc is starting. New York Knicks, enjoy it. Enjoy your summer of being champions, year of being champions, but I can't necessarily say they're going to be back in this spot next year. I'm happy they took advantage of the moment, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, let me know what you think on the video. More to come. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, let me know what y'all think. But again, your boy was right. New York Knicks, NBA champions. What a finals, what a series. Jalen Brunson had the greatest, I'd say top 3 greatest NBA finals runs, NBA playoff runs we've seen in at least my lifetime since '96. All right, appreciate y'all. Great one. Peace.